Twisted genius. Dream life beast. What if I never made it to the top? What if that meant that I was never meant to rock? Would it be the reason that it finally make me stop? Or make me go hard and give it everything I got? Made a promise to them all, I'ma push it till I drop. If it's in the Lord's will, I bring it back to the block. I ain't made it through the door, but I put cracks in the lock. While my way from on the bottom, now I'm headed for the top.
What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for coming back in the building. I'm still here. I got some more time for y'all. Shout out to the Hangover Gang. If you haven't had a chance, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification so you know when I'm coming and how I'm coming. And y'all already know, man, y'all been giving me the suggestions, and I definitely been taking them and taking heed, and I've been jumping back and forth and learning more and more about Tom and Nova. So this next video is going to be called Trying to Kill Me. This is one that was suggested a lot. Also, if you're one of my fellow YouTubers and you need help with your YouTube game, I'm gonna put the link below for TubeBuddy. Get you all your YouTube help that's necessary. So like I said, let's go ahead and get into this. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't had that yet. And this is Trying to Kill Me, Tom Macdonald. Shout out to the Hogs.
I admit it, I'm afraid they gon' kill me for this. Probably put me in my grave for the lyrics I spit. Been exposing the truth and all.
Oh, like I said, man, Tom be kicking in the door with that truth. And I hate to, I hate to hear stuff like that, because I don't never want to think, just because somebody really putting that truth out there that they life being jailed. Unfortunately, that's a cause, and Tom would definitely be one of them, because he got a following and he got an ear, that I'm sure certain individuals ain't too fond of. He got an ear, meaning, what I'm saying, he got an audience that's listening. He got a lot of people that's listening to what he's saying and taking heed. So, that's big.
Admit it, I'm afraid they gon' kill me for this. Probably put me in my grave for the lyrics I spit. Been exposing the truth and all the secrets they covering. If I die, it was big pharma or government. Been putting too much truth in my.
And it's crazy, cause it was really meant for me to find Tom Macdonald, because these are the types of things I've been into. I've been researching. Like, I always look into holistic doctors that they mysteriously die when they come up with certain things that make huge impacts in the healthcare industry, and they don't want certain things to come out like cancer cures and AIDS cures, things like that. So this is something that I was drawn to this. It was meant for me to find Tom Macdonald and start reacting to his music. It was meant.
My songs, they
Take that back.
it was big pharma or government. Been putting too much truth in my songs. They gon' stage a suicide and say I chose to move on. Probably cutting my brakes, so when I tour too long, I'll die in a crash, say I was driving and drunk. Look,
and that's definitely what they do. I don't know if y'all heard, but it was a doctor. You can look this up too. It was a doctor. She was actually researching an enzyme that naturally grew in your body, that we produce naturally, that actually can cure cancer, right? So the only problem is our body produces it in a small amount. So she figured out a way to increase that, so people with cancer can naturally be able to fight it off. This was probably like maybe 4 to 5 years ago. Mysteriously, after she discovered this and was about to do what she needed to do to make it go public, her husband and her 2 kids jumped off a roof and committed suicide. And the headlines were pretty much, they were in debt, they were unhappy, they were headed towards these things. And all her friends and family was, of course, saying that this wasn't true, they weren't in this light, but she was finna cure cancer. That's like the #1 money maker for the healthcare industry. And just like he said, it'll be something weird that happened that they will explain like a freak accident. I might have to watch what I'm saying on reaction videos. Real talk. Like, yeah. Y'all watch out for me too.
Illuminati real.
Take this back. The Illuminati is very real.
I said I was driving and drunk. Look, the Illuminati real. They're trying to make you dumb, trying to numb you out with pills, trying to make you broke, trying to tell you it's a deal. Processing your food, so now none of it is real. You eating super.
That's why like he said, that's why they got these labels that are supporting, you know, being drugged out your mind. They want you to do. It's crazy because it's like psychological, and once people understand how to work on the psychological aspect of somebody, it's you have all the control over their life. It's like you try to tap into the things that you know that trigger them. You try to tap into the things that you know drives them. You know what I'm saying? I give you an example. Like this is a story. Somebody thought I was obviously somebody that I wasn't. They assumed I was somebody that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a rapper that, you know, they mistaken because I rap, because of the neighborhoods I go, because of where I was from, because of how I carry. Just they've always assumed, you know, before talking to me, for hearing me out, that I was a certain type of individual, you know, without me saying a word. So I go into this store in a mall one day, and this is just an example of how that works. I go into a store in a mall one day, right? And the store is ran by an Arab owner, right? And when I come into the store, you got all these racks of clothes, right? You got all these different racks of clothes with all these different types of nice clothes on them, right? All these different types of name brand things, you know, that top shelf, you know, stuff that nice clothes, right? He grabs me. He says, "Hey, I know what you want. I know what you like. I want you to come over here. I want you to get this." So I'm like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. So he walks me over to a shirt, right? And he points up to the shirt, and he like, "I know you're gonna like this." I look up at the shirt, and the shirt got guns drawn on it, chronic leaves, like marijuana leaves drawn all over it, like pills and needles and stuff. This is paraphernalia just drawn all over the shirt, right? So I asked him, I was like, "Why would you think I would want that shirt?" And it's because, you know, he done dealt with a certain type of customer base, and that's what they have led him to believe, that all of us are on that same level. This is what drives all of us. This is the type of thing that all of us want. This excites us. This is what we want. I don't want that shirt, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing like that on me, right? Like I won't lie. I've wore shirts with supporting, you know, marijuana, because I indulge, you know, I support legalization of marijuana and things like that. But when it comes to all the other craziness like guns and pills and needles, and you supporting crack dealers and all that type of stuff, man, like, miss me with all that. Like, and it was very stereotypical for them to assume that I would be interested in that shirt. That's exactly, you know, the type of thing that he talking about, that these labels want the rappers doing. It's a conditioning. It's a conditioning. I'm a lead you down this path by giving you these things to self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? You give somebody this shirt, they go out in public, you know. Or another idea is, a lot of these shops like that be having the gang colors put on tennis shoes and hats and stuff, knowing that the second you put this stuff on, you're going to go out into the street, and the people who have a problem with you wearing this color, you're going to get into altercations with now, because you're brandishing this. Now it's like a problem. Now it's like you throwing it in their face, but they capitalizing off of it at the same time. They making millions off of it. They sitting by making millions while you just keep being conditioned to go down the wrong path. But my bad, y'all. I ain't want to get too political. It just, that line definitely resonated with me.
Tell you it's a deal. Processing your food, so now none of it is real. You eating super good, but you still be getting ill. You working super hard, but you still can't pay the bills. Silencing the visionaries, revising the dictionaries. Now you just can't find the right words to say and express how you feel. Target on my back, I think they're coming for my head. I know I recognize that then. I bet they wanna see me dead. And they're gonna kill me if I leave my room. They're gonna kill me if I go too soon. You should know.
And that's why it's important when artists take that step and they become big like this. Like, a lot of artists are not protected like they should be, and they're allowed to meet their demise because they're allowed to remain into certain situations that become super hazardous once they have let everybody know that they own this and they become successful at it. Like people like Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, in certain situations they shouldn't have ever been allowed to be in. Nipsey shouldn't have been allowed to be at that store, let alone, you know, down there getting into it with somebody. Tupac shouldn't have never been allowed to swing on nobody. He should have been in the back and security taking care of everything. He shouldn't have been any gang, anything that had to do with his image, his music, his anything. The type of artist that he was supposed to be, it had nothing to do with gang culture, and it should never been mixed.
Said they would kill me.
Take that back.
If I go too soon, you should know. Said they would kill me. I admitted I'm afraid they gon' murder me. Wouldn't be a problem if nobody ever heard of me. But I'm famous, so they'll probably try erasing me with urgency, infect me with a sickness and deny me any surgery. Stop me from exposing all.
Yep. Infect them with a sickness, then deny them treatment. Yep.
Urgency, infect me with a sickness and deny me any surgery. Stop me from exposing all the medicine and currency and terrorism. Always been controlling us so perfectly. I'm telling you with certainty. They say it's for security. They monitor our lives like.
Stop me from exposing all the medicine and currency. Exactly what Dr. Sebi was talking about. If y'all haven't heard of Dr. Sebi, go do your research on Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi cured hundreds of people of different ailments. Dr. Sebi was the one who cured Magic Johnson. That's why Magic Johnson is still alive today. If y'all haven't heard of this or done your research, do your research. Dr. Sebi, Dr. name, spelling of the last name is Sebi. He walked 70 patients into a Supreme Court showing proof that he cured them of all these different ailments that our culture, our hospitals tell you that you can't cure. You know what I'm saying? Like AIDS, like cancer, all these types of things that they tell you never get rid of is a death sentence. He cured them. Also, you got to know things like it's certain weird things that work differently when you're outside of the country. Like if you go get an AIDS test in America and you go to Canada to get an AIDS test, it's a totally different type of test and it's a different result. Canada can give you things that you can take for antibiotics because they got a free healthcare system, whereas in America they're not going to do that. They're going to tell you got a death sentence, you got to get on this expensive medicine and start taking it. Like, you gotta listen to what he's saying. He got a lot of truth into these things, and like I said, I was drawn to him because of this. Like it's on a whole nother level, man. It's like different types of things that I was looking into for like years are all coming out of somebody's mouth, like, and it's like, oh my God, like my mind blown.
Like we live in Nazi Germany. They want a microchip.
Every time my mind blown.
It's for security. They monitor our lives like we live in Nazi Germany. They want to microchip all the people, you don't believe it. Your fingerprint unlocking your phone, oh how convenient. They trick you to believe in all the angels and demons and say you'll go to hell if you.
Exactly. All this stuff y'all doing, all this fingerprint, all this facial scan, y'all don't understand. They collecting data. They collecting data. Like, what do you think they gonna use with that data? You ever seen that movie with Will Smith? Executive Decision. No, it wasn't Executive Decision. It was Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State, where they had, look up that movie, where they had all them cameras that was zooming in, and they was finding, when they wanted to find him, they had all these different ways of locating him, locating information on the facial scans and recognitions and stuff like that. Why you think all these phone companies are getting aligned with this stuff? So they can locate you always, always, always.
Demons and say you'll go to hell if you ever go disappoint Jesus. I got a backbone and a platform.
Hold on, I went too far, huh?
Wanna microchip all the people you don't believe in. Your fingerprint unlocking your phone, oh how convenient. They trick you to believe in all the angels and demons and say you'll go to hell if you ever go disappoint Jesus. I got a backbone and a platform and a tap phone. Never asked for it to be that.
Yeah, like that's one of the biggest farces ever. Like, if you don't follow, like, the Bible is basically supposed to be a instruction booklet, right? And it's always a picture painted, like, if you don't follow these instructions, that's what it stands for, basic instructions before leaving Earth, right? So it's always like, if you don't follow, it's certain people that try to present this to you, like, if you don't follow these instructions step by step, then you're gonna make them mad up there, and you're not going to heaven, which is, you know, totally not what the situation is. That's not something you should never fear. The person that's supposed to love you and protect you and take care of you, like, does that make sense?
And a platform and a tap phone. Never asked for it to be that known. Take my passport to my dad's boat. Use the back door to escape this place. Just a Truman Show. Target on my back. I think they're coming for my head. I know I recognize that van. I bet they wanna see me dead, and they're gonna kill me if I leave my room. They're gonna kill me if I go too soon. You should know. Said they would kill me.
And all these artists, they started really exposing these types of things in their music and letting people know, you know, you got the Michael Jacksons, the Prince, Tupac, Nipsey, like, you got all these people that was talking about this stuff in their music, and it was no helping them. You know, a lot of people didn't listen. It fell on deaf ears, unfortunately.
If I go too soon, you should know. Said they would kill me. I admit it, I'm afraid I'll disappear. They won't issue me a ticket for a minor misdemeanor. They gon' try to lock me up before the moment while I'm here. Just let me.
And crazy, it goes back to even the Beatles when they was talking about the Illuminati. Look up Dr. Pepper, Sergeant Pepper, not Dr. Pepper, Sergeant Pepper. look up the song they had about Sergeant Pepper.
Misdemeanor, they gon' try to lock me up before the moment while I'm here. Just let me take a minute to make sure you see it clear. Cancer has a cure, they killed Biggie and Pac. One thing I know for sure, 9/11 was an inside job.
Okay, that's let me take that back. We're gonna break down that line. We're gonna break that down that line.
Has a cure, they killed.
Gonna break down that.
See it clear, cancer has a cure, they killed Big.
Truth. Cancer does have a cure, right? Cancer does have a cure. Marijuana. Not in that form, but cancer does have a cure. Truth.
See it clear, cancer has a cure. They killed Biggie and Pac. One thing I know for sure. Okay. And I'm only responding to this because somebody commented when they suggested this video, and this was a line they said, and it, you know, it made me, I said to myself, like, I definitely got to explain this. Like, they killed Biggie and Pac. Yeah, when he said they killed Biggie and Pac, I think even Tom knows, like, he wasn't referencing the government. Like, I think the person that put the comment, I think he kind of think Tom meant that the government killed Biggie and Pac. And no, the government didn't kill Biggie and Pac. They really had nothing to do with it. You got to understand, it's certain individuals, like Tom would be one of those individuals, but like a Tom Macdonald, like
like a Michael Jackson, like a Prince. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that may happen to them that seem mysterious are more likely and more believable that it probably has some type of government involvement, because of the lifestyles and the type of circles, type of situations that they have themselves in and they're surrounding themselves with, right? But Biggie and Pac was part of two labels that were two of the biggest, well, affiliated with two of the biggest gangs in the country, right? So when you're intertwining the music game with that lifestyle, yeah, the things that you're talking about in your music, like, for one, Biggie wasn't doing that. He wasn't talking about anything political that was making him a threat. You know, Biggie wasn't in a Tupac when it came to that. Tupac was the activist, right? He was the one that was speaking on those things, speaking like Tom would speak, you know, talking about certain situations in the Illuminati. He formed the whole Illuminati organization. You can research that. Kill the Illuminati. That's what it stands for. But he formed that, and you know, he was the one that, you know, they thought that he would eventually become the next leader of the black community. Because of what his parents were there, because they were Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? So they did fear that. They did fear that he was headed towards that. He talked about certain things that were very controversial, and they knew that his voice was big enough that it was going to be impactful on a level that, you know, it was definitely going to cause some type of change, right? But when he mixed that, once he got into the trouble that he did, and he mixed that with the gang lifestyle, that's when things take a turn. Now it's like the government didn't even have a chance to get involved and have anything to do with that, because you chose a lifestyle that had a much quicker expiration date. You get me? Like, you involved yourself with the element that was detrimental to you way more than the government. You could have went years and the government never touch you or do anything. It just been mysterious, right? Getting into that lifestyle speeds up that process if you think something is going to happen, because now you're involved in a situation where you got regular street people, gang members and stuff, gang culture you're dealing with that's killing you. You got people, the LAPD killed Biggie, right? It's videos all about that. You can look it up. They supposedly were on the payroll of label execs. This is all on tape. This is all videos that have already been exposed, and the people that, you know, were responsible have already been exposed. The people have come forth that had anything to do with Tupac stuff. So that's not what I just said that to say, and wanted to provide explanation of, you know, clarity on what he meant right there. You know, I don't think he meant, you know what I'm saying, when he said they killed Biggie and Pac, he just, you know, hopefully Tom knows that that's not what happened. Like, that's definitely not the case. Everything else was factual, as far as the government. Like, in a way, like, I can see how that would be misconstrued, though, because he's referencing the government, and then he threw that in between while referencing the government. So maybe he might think they had, you know, something to do, a little bit more to do with that. But nah, it Tupac died hard from day one, right? Nipsey Hussle died hard day one. But unfortunately, like I said, these guys got involved in situations and street beefs that superseded anything that any other conspiracy can explain, unfortunately.
For the moment while I'm here, just let me take a minute to make sure you see it clear. Cancer has a cure. They killed Biggie and Pac. One thing I know for sure, 9/11 was an inside job. They stand
9/11, definitely an inside job. Definitely an inside job. look at whose supposedly relatives, whose families have been doing business for years, and yeah, we can go down a rabbit hole all night, man. That's why I said, like, time just, we right here. We right here. We be on point.
Thing I know for sure, 9/11 was an inside job. They stamp dollar bills with "In God We Trust," while a single dollar bill the only thing we got. I think they probably think they got us fooled. Distort the information in curriculums at school. They ain't making you a scholar, man, they're making you a fool. They're making you a felon if you choose to break the rules. They designed a game with a million ways to lose, not a single way to win. Only option you can choose is to play it with a grin, or you play it feeling blue. Either way the wheels spin, you won't ever make a move. They gon' kill me for this. Target on my back, I think they're coming for my head. I know I recognize that van. I bet they wanna see me dead, and they're gonna kill me if I leave my room. They're gonna kill me if I go too soon. You should know, I said they would kill me.
Hey babe, I just walked in the house. Did you leave the door open by chance? I don't know, the door was open. No, I just walked up and the door was like open a crack. Yo, they're in the house! Babe! They're in the house!
Target on my back, I think they're coming for my head. I know I recognize.
They have the dopest imagery, man. I swear. Look at that. Like, he literally laying on the ground, getting put in a body bag while he's still, like, that's dope. That's so dope.
That van, I bet they wanna see me dead, and they're gonna kill me if I leave my room. They're gonna kill me if I go too soon. You should know, I said they would kill me.
Another dope video by Nova, man. Like, it don't cease to amaze me, man. Like, it's a lot of things in there. Like, yeah, like, man, the truth just be, be all throughout the music, man. Like, we definitely gotta make sure, you know, by listening to these artists, listening to artists like Tom, you know, with these type of messages that are genuine, that they protect it. Our society has to protect them by supporting these artists. Y'all go ahead and like. I definitely like the song. Comment. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe. Until the next time, keep it twisted. I'm out.